Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com, and today we're going to talk about organizing and tracking your contacts because this is a really, really important topic. This came from a group training webinar conference call I was doing for a big group, and one of the people said, "Hey, how do you do this? I'm a little, kind of struggling with how to do it." And I know this is an important topic because if you think about it, your contacts, that's your list, right? And you want to always be building your list and maintaining that list because that is a powerful asset. Your time and your list are your two biggest assets as you grow forward. It doesn't even matter where you're starting from because everybody can grow a list, even if they don't feel they have a big list, which, of course, if you follow my training, you know that that's not true, and I teach that too. But anyway, I digress a little bit there. So how do you best organize and track your contacts? So some of this is personal preference. In my early days of building the business, I used 3x5 cards, index cards. I had a little file box and I had index cards, and it was chaos, but I could track, right? And I could make sure that I did everything right. And over time, I had a massive box. I was a dinosaur. Hey, what can I say? I still prefer offline mechanisms, but that's, there's a lot of efficient ways to do it. So you could use an index card system. You could use custom contact management software. You could use physical folders. You could use an Excel spreadsheet. There are a lot of different ways, and you should do what you like, what works for you. Heck, you can do a management system in your phone in today's world. So it's more important that you find some style that's comfortable for you. What I'm going to help you understand here is kind of the flow, the what to track and the way to track it. And then you can fit whatever mechanism you like into what I'm sharing. So what is the kind of data that you want to keep, right? What data do you want to keep? Well, really, when it comes to anyone you interact with about your business, since the way I teach to treat people with kindness, honesty, and respect, your list never gets smaller. People are always open to talking to you, so you are going to double back. And trust me, when I say this, you are going to sponsor a lot of people in the second, third, fourth, fifth time you approach them, not the first. Just because your credibility grows, their situation changes, you become better. There's all kinds of factors for that. So I'm just telling you, that's why you want to have this the way that I'm going to give it to you, because the things you want to track is you want to track what your conversations were, right? So anything that they share in a conversation that's poignant, you need to note that because you may refer back to it at some time. Like, maybe they mention that their son is in the middle of a soccer season. And next time you talk to them, they say, "Hey, is your son still playing soccer?" They'll be like, "Wow, it's so cool that you thought about asking me that," right? It's all about rapport. The next thing is any information on them personally, basic stuff like what they do for a living, where they live, their, obviously their contact information, how many people are in their family, the name of their husband or wife, or anything like that. You want that information, what their interests are, because that's going to matter. That's points of connection. And then any information that you shared. Maybe you contacted them the first time and shared XYZ video. Right? So the next time, that probably wouldn't be what you'd want to share. You'd want to share a different tool or a new tool. And then the dates that you contacted them, because in the process of the work, you're going to know or need to know, right? I talked to this person on Saturday the 2nd. I told them I would follow up on Tuesday the 5th. You need to follow up on Tuesday the 5th. But if you haven't captured that information and you don't have a system that's organized, then you won't remember to do it. And if you don't do that, you lose credibility. We're not having that, right? We're going to operate in a highly credible, highly professional way so that people are like, "Man, this is a good person to do business with." You follow what I teach, that's how people will respond to you. So that's the kind of data. Now, how do you break it apart? So I'm going to give you a little lesson here. Now, this is straight out of my book, The Process 2. In The Process 2, I teach you the maximum efficiencies for doing your business. That little book will really help you, but this concept is very helpful. So remember, you're working a process. You got the approach, you got the information and story, right? Then the next thing you have is the follow-up, right? And then you sponsor someone, right? And then you go back and do that process over again, right? So you need to be tracking every element of that. So what is there to track? So think of it this way. Break it into 4 sections. I call them folders. right? So you have 4 folders that you are going to operate from. And you will need all of these over time. So the first folder is your list/new contacts. So effectively, right, this is where you keep your list and any contacts you're generating. And then when you make a contact, they go into the process, right? That's pretty simple, but you're tracking this, right? They go into the process and then they go into your flow. You're tracking this. Maybe you made the approach and maybe you say, hey, if I send you a video, will you watch it tomorrow? Yes. Can you watch it now? Yes. Can you have 5 minutes now? However you're doing it, right? Based on your tools and your timing, then I'll call you back. You need to know exactly when to do that, right? Or maybe you're meeting with them. However, but you're going to track that. So what's going to happen through the process? The process, the classic human nature, right? The classic human nature aspects of the process are, if 10 people absolutely need and desire what you have, 2 are ready to act on it. That is just how it works. You might get so good you can affect that, right? You might. But who cares? I mean, who cares? You just need to know that that's the process. You work the process based on that philosophy. Now, you might have called 15 to get 10 that have an identified need that are wide open to it, and then you'll get your 2 from those 10. But you need to understand that's human nature. That's why this works, right? So easily for anyone, easily meaning the process is easy to work, doesn't mean it's easy to become real successful, because you got to go through everything you go through in life, and most of you already have something else to do. I'm just saying that the process of the work is easy and the tracking of the work can be easy. So what you do know is that out of 10, you're going to have 8 people out of 10 that end up over here in what you call your not yet folder, right? Your not yet folder. They're not ready yet, okay? You treated them right. You said you'll check back with them later. Everything's cool. They'll welcome your next call. So you come into the process and then they either go there into not yet, or they come into this folder, which is your customer or your business partner folder, okay? Which you're tracking. It's a separate folder. You treat these people different, right? They're a new part of your list. So hopefully this makes sense. You want to track these 3 things, and then this folder is where some of these people end up. And that is what I call missing in action. No business on the planet keeps everybody. I'm sorry to tell you that if maybe your sponsor didn't, okay? Nobody keeps everybody. So you want to maintain a folder in your whatever contact system you're using of people that have tried your product before or started in the opportunity and then life happened or whatever happened, because you're going to circle back to these people and re-sponsor or re-engage them as customers many times over your career. So these are the things that you want to track, right? You want to break it down to these things. You always have your list that you're operating out of, people that are in the process but haven't yet made a decision or that you haven't talked to yet. The not yet is where they go if they say no. If they say no, what they're really saying is not yet, unless they're mean. If they're mean, they're out. They are out. Right? Someone's mean to me, I will never talk to them again. Their loss, right? And that's how you have to. You got the chocolate. You got the chocolate, right? Remember that. So, not yet, or into your customer partners, and then some people will eventually fall into missing in action, but you'll double back. That is what to track, okay? So I hope that you found that helpful. As I said before, the Process 2 book, that little book will really help you get clarity on this. There's a lot of other great nuggets in there on follow-up and all kinds of stuff. I wrote that book in a kind of a bathroom reading style where you could sit down and read a chapter and get a significant nugget in like a minute. And so you can also, if you haven't got my 27 scripts that work and consistently sponsor, head over to toddburley.com and you can get that free download by putting in your email, and then you will get the audio download. It's got all kinds of great verbiage on there to help you sponsor people consistently. And you can put it on your MP3 or whatever you want to do. And then while you're there, you can check out the Process 2 under products. Feel free to share this message if you think it'd be helpful for someone on your team. And also, I do live training on my Facebook fan page 5 days a week. And you can always ask me to do a topic on that page, and I'm happy to do it. So, hope this was helpful. See you next time.